Hello students, this is your science teacher Ms. Fatma, and in today's video lecture we are going to start a new chapter, that's chapter number 10, and it's about the changing circuit. So in this chapter you are going to study about the electric charges, electric circuits, closed circuit, open circuit, and the different symbols which actually symbolize the different parts of a circuit diagram. So now quickly jump to the next first page of this chapter, that is page number 182. In this page, the first heading is about the electric circuit. So there would be a question: what is electric circuit, what are circuit, and what is electricity? To be very general, electricity is basically the form of energy. When the charges flow, the electricity, this is how the electricity works, right? To give you the idea of how the charges flow, I need to give you a new concept of a matter, of an atom. So atom is basically the smallest unit, right? And the atom is made up of three different things, that is electron, proton, and neutron. Alright, there is a thing in an atom which is called nucleus. It is called nucleus, and around the nucleus there are certain orbits in which the electron move freely, right? The charge of the nucleus is positive because in nucleus there are two things. The first one is proton, which has the positive charge. The second one is neutron, which has no charge. So that's why the charge of the nucleus is positive. And then in this orbit there are certain electrons that revolves around, right? There are limited numbers of electrons which revolve in the first shell or first orbit and second orbit and third orbit. That's not the part of your curriculum, but just to give you an idea that how the electrons move and how it helps us to, and how it actually helps the electricity to work. So that's the necessary for you to understand. So these electrons actually move freely in their orbit, and these free electrons actually facilitate the charges to move around the circuit. And this is how an electric circuit works, with the help of or with the flow of charges or electron. An electron is negatively charged particle. It is a negatively charged particle. Proton is a positively charged particle, and neutron has no charge at all. Alright, so now coming toward what is circuit. So circuit, you can say the circuit is an unbroken loop or unbroken path of a conductive material. And what are conductive material? Conductive material are those material which actually allows the flow of electron from them. What are conductive material? Conductive material are those material which actually allows the flow of charges through them. For example, in metal we have copper as a conductive material, we have iron as a conductive material, which actually allows the electric charge to flow through it. There are two types of material, one is conductive and the other one is insulator. And what are insulator material? Insulator are those material which do not allow the electric charge to flow through them, which do not allow electric charge to flow through them. And these conductive material actually allows the electric charge to flow through them, right? The example of the conductive material are metal, right? In metal there are copper, iron, and different. And the example of insulators are plastic, rubber, wood. These all are insulator. These materials do not allow the charges to pass through them. So these are the basic ideas that you must have in your mind before listening to this video, right? I have explained about the electricity, right? How these move and how the charges flow with the help of electron. These are the freely moving electrons which help the charge to flow. and I have discussed about the conductive material and insulator. Conductive material actually allows the charge to flow, and the insulators do not allow the charge to flow, right? And the next thing I need to mention is about what is electric circuit. So the electric circuit is basically the path through which the electricity flow, or through the path through which the electric current flow. Like if I say that I'm making a simple electric circuit of a bulb and with a battery. This is a simple for the bulb, and this straight line that I'm making is of what? Wire. Let's suppose this is of switch, and this is for the battery, which is actually the electric source from which the one end of a battery is positively charged and the other end of the battery is negatively charged, right? And this battery actually, and this tri-cell, there is actually storage of, you can say, the storage of electron, and this storage of electron, when get connected or when get in touch with a wire which actually completes this circuit, when I'm going to turn off this switch, which is going to complete the circuit, these electrons are actually going to flow through the wire, and when these electrons are going to flow through the wire, it will have this bulb to glow, right? This is how a circuit works. So there are basically two types of circuit. One is open circuit and the other one is closed circuit. From the word open and closed, if we talk about closed circuit, so closed circuit is basically such path from which the electric current can flow. What can flow? Electric current can flow, right? And in the open circuit, electric current cannot flow. Simplest example of this, when you switch on the light, it closes the circuit, it completes the circuit. So when you switch on the light of a bulb, the bulb will glow. Because the circuit is now closed, there is no gap between the circuit, which makes the electric current to flow and which eventually allow the bulb to glow. And if the circuit is open, let's suppose I am going to turn off the light, the circuit will be broken, the circuit will be open circuit. So this open circuit actually don't allow the electric current to flow through it. Let me draw a simple electric circuit, right? Let's suppose this is a circuit, right? This circuit is open, it is not connected to the other end. So this is called, the circuit like these are called open circuit, because it does not allow the electric current to flow, because it has the unbroken or discontinuous path. It is actually not connecting to the other end, which is actually not allowing the electrons to flow from this end to that end. So such circuits are called open circuit. When you turn off the light, the circuit become like this. That's why when you turn off the switch of a light, the light become off, and when you turn on the switch, it becomes to glow. So in the when I talk about the closed circuit, it's the same example for here, but here what is going to happen, this switch is going to connect with the other end, and when it's going to get connected with the other end, it means the circuit is now closed or complete. This is the continuous path which will actually allow the electric current to flow, which will actually allow the electron to flow completely from the positive end, from the negative end to the positive end of the battery, right? And here the electron will not flow from that end to this end, because there is an unbroken path which actually do not allow the electric current to flow. So here, as you can see from this picture, in this picture they have given you the idea about the closed circuit, right? Can you see from here? From here there is a dry cell battery which you actually use in the remote control or in the toy cars, etc. This small battery, right? At the one side there is a positive charge and on the other side there is a negative charge, right? When the charge flow from the negative end to the positive end and a conductive material is between the positive and the negative end and it is completing the circuit, the bulb will glow. Now, how this bulb is actually working? As I mentioned, the electron flow from negative side of a dry cell or conducting battery through the conductive material to the base of the bulb. This is the base of the bulb. If I am going to attach a wire to the negative side and this wire is a conductive material, it will actually allow the electrons to flow to the base of the bulb, and then this base of the bulb, between the base of the bulb till the filament there is a conductive material, and this conductive material will actually allow the electron to change the electrical energy to the heat and light energy, which will actually help the bulb to glow. And after completing this and after making a light, it will going to and after that the electron will continue downwards to the other small wire, this other small wire, and which is inside the bulb, and this another small wire will actually go finally downside to the base of the bulb, and the space of the bulb will finally make the circuit get complete. This is how a bulb actually works, or the bulb actually glows when a circuit is closed circuit. Let's suppose when I am going to detach the bulb base from this end, the bulb is not going to flow because the flow of electron is now disturbed. Why? Because when I am going to detach it, like here, when I am going to detach it, the electron will not be able to flow from this end to the cell of the battery, which will eventually make the circuit incomplete, and such incomplete circuits are called open circuit. And when the circuit is completed, when the base of the bulb and this battery is attached, so actually how the bulb glow in a closed circuit? As I have already mentioned that the electron flow from the negative end of a dry cell or a battery to the positive end. When the electron flow from the negative side of a dry cell battery to a conductive material on the base of the bulb to the filament, this is the base of the bulb, that is also a conductive material, and it helps the electrons to flow to the filament, and this filament will glow because at this stage the electrical energy is converted into heat and light energy. And when the electrons continues down to another small wire that is here on the base of the on the other side of the base of the bulb, the electron will finally make their way to the positive side of the bulb, and this results in the complete electric circuit. And if the electron do not travel completely, such circuits are called open circuit. But if the electron travels completely from the negative side to the positive side, such circuits are called closed circuit. In closed circuit, what I have already mentioned, there is a flow of current through the unbroken path, and the open circuit there is no flow of electricity, no flow of charges, because the path is broken. Alright, now coming towards the next page, on page number 184, they have actually explained quite well the concept of both, as here I have explained with the help of circuit diagram. Here can you see the one end of the wire is connected to the negative terminal and the other end of the wire is connected to the positive terminal, and this positive terminal is going to the one end of the bulb, and this negative terminal is actually going to the switch, and between the switch and the bulb there is a wire that is completing the actual circuit. When you turn on the light, the gap between the circuit is closed. Like this is the gap, this will this will go down and this will complete circuit. So that's why the electric current will actually flow through the closed circuit. When we say that I am going to turn on the light, when we are going to turn on the light, the gap between the both will shut off and which actually allows your electrical appliances to work. As is same in the case here, but here is the example of a open circuit in which the path of a light, the path of the electric current is broken, that is not allowing the continuous charge or continuous flow of the electron. As you can see from here, the path is broken, it is not connected, so the flow of electron is not complete. So that's why the bulb is not working. So this is the pictorial example of a pictorial circuit of a closed an open circuit, and this is of a closed circuit. All right, now coming towards the next thing that we are going to discuss about in circuit diagram, there are few basic symbols that we use to symbolize the electric components, right, the circuit components. Like for the battery, I'm not always going to make the whole A size battery in the paper or somewhere when I'm going to explain about the electric circuit. For symbolizing the battery, we use two straight lines. The one line is bigger than the another line. The long line actually symbolizes the positive end, and the short line actually symbolizes the negative end. As I've already mentioned, in the battery there are two terminals, one is positive and the other one is negative. So the larger one is a symbol of a positive end, and the smaller one is a symbol of a negative end. Now if you talk about single battery, I am just going to make two single line, one bigger and one smaller. But when I am going to talk about the two batteries, like in the case here, when I am going to draw the circuit diagram of such picture, I need to draw four lines, because in two batteries there would be two positive and two negative. So one positive, one negative for one battery, one positive and one negative for the another battery, right? So this symbol actually symbolizes that we have used two batteries which are next to each other, or which are connected after one another. For the bulb, how I'm going to symbolize the bulb? For the bulb, a circle with a cross. This symbol actually symbolizes that in a circuit there is a bulb, and these extended line actually symbolize the wires, that this bulb is connected with the wires. So for the switch, as it is not possible for us to draw the switch like this again and again, for a switch the symbol used is two circle with this end. Then this end and this circle actually symbolizing the open circuit. But when I'm going to close it down, like it is going to shut down, this would be a straight path. So this is the symbol for the closed circuit. And for if the motor, if there is a motor in a circuit diagram which we haven't mentioned or which we haven't discussed in this chapter so far, how I'm going to represent a circle with M and two extended line on the both sides. So these are the few basic circuit diagram and their symbols that you need to have, or that you need to learn or memorize to make a electric circuit or circuit diagram. Thank you so much, class, for listening to me. If you have any query, you can ask me. Stay home, stay safe.